Hi there, this is Datila, and welcome to our Wrestling Time Post Show. It is Monday, November 4th, 2024, and tonight I'll be talking about Monday Night Raw. Tonight's Raw is a fallout from Crown Jewel. Let's talk about the Sami Zayn promo here. So, if you guys remember, on Saturday was Crown Jewel, and there was this incident where Sami Zayn came out, and him, Roman, Jimmy, and Jay had Solo Sikoa cornered, but Solo got out of the way, and Sami ended up hitting Roman. Now, this is brought up during this promo, so Sami comes out and he speaks Arabic in front of his people in WWE TV, and both Jimmy and Jay come out, but they come out separately. So Jay comes out first, and then Jimmy. And basically, Jimmy's accusing Sami of kicking Roman in the face on purpose here. But Sami Zayn is quick to remind Jimmy of his track record and reminded him that they were dogs. So yeah, that's true. Sami Zayn and Jimmy were cool from the get-go. Jay had his doubts about Sami. Not to mention, Jimmy did cost Jay the world title opportunity back when he challenged Roman. So Sami Zayn has the right to bring that up. And the crowds are chanting, Sami Uso. Now, Sami reveals that he doesn't hate Jimmy. He doesn't think Jimmy's a bad guy, but he does make bad decisions. So, in all of this, Jay ends up inviting Sami Zayn to SmackDown so they can talk about this like family. Jimmy says that Sami isn't family. Jay says that Sami is family and that he hopes to see him Friday on SmackDown. So it does make me think that Sami Zayn's going to go over to SmackDown. We're going to have this whole angle with Sami Zayn. SmackDown should be interesting. I agree. SmackDown should be interesting because Sami Zayn's going to reunite with the Bloodline, but not only that, I think Kevin Owens is going to snap, because if you guys remember, Kevin Owens was feuding with the Bloodline. That whole storyline culminated with Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn challenging the Usos for the tag titles at WrestleMania 39, which I was there for in person. It was such an incredible moment, such a great moment to witness live. I'll never forget that. And Kevin Owens is already going off the rails because he thinks Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes betrayed him. So just imagine how he's going to feel when Sami Zayn rejoins the Bloodline. The very Bloodline that he's been fighting for the last 4 years. The very Bloodline that him and Sami Zayn won the tag titles from. Just because Roman is feuding with Solo and Co. doesn't mean he's not the same Roman. That's true. That is very true. The same Bloodline. If you remember, the Bloodline was in the War Games match, and it came down to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. I'm sure Kevin Owens hasn't forgotten that, and I'm sure Kevin is going to snap when he sees Sami Zayn rejoin the Bloodline. He is going to snap. Now, again, this is all building towards Survivor Series, the War Games match. SmackDown should be interesting on Friday. Oh, I agree. It's definitely going to be interesting. I cannot wait to see what happens on SmackDown. It's going to be the original Bloodline versus Solo's Bloodline. Just good storytelling and interesting. Yep, I agree. I honestly think that Solo's probably going to get kicked out of his Bloodline if they lose. Because he never really followed up on the whole thing with the Rocks. I'm so curious to know where that goes. But SmackDown should be interesting. Kevin Owens is going to snap. And Sami Zayn's probably going to rejoin. That's what this is leading to. Survivor Series War Games. Which I think we pretty much have known since April. that the War Games match was going to be the original Bloodline versus Solo Sikoa's Bloodline. Kicked out by The Rock? I think so. I think they'll probably get kicked out Randy Orton style. You know, The Rock holding thumbs and then goes down. That's why I kind of thought that maybe like Solo would get kicked out of the Bloodline before War Games and then rejoin the Bloodline, and he would get Hikuleo would join the new Bloodline, but that didn't happen. So I feel like it might happen after War Games. We knew this in WrestleMania. Oh yeah, we did. We knew that this was going to be the War Games match, or the men's War Games match, anyways. We still don't know what the women's War Games match is going to be. All right, so Monday Night Raw kicked off with Liv Morgan. She did a promo with Raquel Rodriguez and Dominik Mysterio out there. She was basically gloating about the fact that she's done everything she said she was going to do, and she proved to be the greatest women's champion of all time. Now, she gets interviewed by Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. If you guys remember, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez confronted them and basically said that they wanted the tag titles, or at least if they wanted the tag titles, they can take the tag titles from them. Now, at one point, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez were tag team champions. Women's tag team champions. So Liv Morgan starts planting the seeds of Jade and Bianca splitting. So basically she brings up the fact that Bianca thinks she's the best, the EST of WWE, but she suggests, what if Jade thinks of herself that? And I do think Jade and Bianca will split, and that's going to be the WrestleMania match, Jade Cargill versus Bianca Belair. But we haven't gotten into that yet. Liv brings up the fact that, you know, that those titles are the tag titles are basically what's keeping them together. And that if they lose them, Jade is turning on Bianca. See, no, I don't know, because I feel like that would be too obvious. I think Bianca should turn on Jade. I think she should turn on Jade, especially if they want to turn Jade into the babyface here. But I could definitely see them doing a scenario where they lose those tag titles, because I think you have to remember when they fought. Who was it? When they fought, I think it was Unholy Union. Bianca was in that match most of the time, and Jade was on the outside. It wasn't until like midway through the match where Jade had tagged in. So I definitely could see Bianca being the one to turn here. Although it would be really interesting to see if Bianca does turn. So Jade basically, not Jade, Bianca. Jade really doesn't do much. She doesn't say anything, but Liv tells Jade to watch out for the knife that Bianca's gonna stab her with. Now she gets in Bianca's face, and Bianca like slaps her. Adam Pearce, who could hardly control his Raw roster here, announces a battle royal and said to determine Liv's opponent, and Jade and Bianca are going to be a part of that battle royal. So obviously Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez are watching at ringside. I would like to see Bianca heel turn as well, right? I think Bianca would make an interesting heel. I just feel like turning Jade heel would be too obvious, and I don't think Bianca needs to win over Jade. I think Jade is a better heel. Would have made sense. Huh? What do you mean? Like, it would have made sense if she turned heel? Or it would make sense? No, I do agree. She is a better heel. So I guess you had turn her heel and have her beat Bianca? Because I do think Jade versus Bianca is going to be the WrestleMania match. We just haven't gotten there yet. Okay. So you get the Women's World Championship #1 contenders battle royal. And this is to determine Liv Morgan's opponent. Oh, would it make sense if Bianca turns? Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Jade is a good heel. Look at her AEW. No, I'm not saying she's not a good heel. Jade Cargill is a great heel. We saw that in AEW. I'm just saying, like, it would be too obvious Jade being the heel and Bianca being the face here. I would want to see a change with Bianca being the heel and Jade being the face. But hey, I wouldn't mind a Jade heel and in WWE. She was really great in AEW as a heel, so wouldn't mind seeing her as a heel in WWE. So this Battle Royal match, Maxine went after Ivy Nile because of their whole Alpha American Made and Alpha Academy stuff. Jade and Bianca eliminate the Pure Fusion Collective, and Liv and Raquel eliminate Jade and Bianca. Remember, there's no disqualification, so they eliminate them, and then they chase after Raquel and Bianca. And so Io Sky is victorious here. Now, if you guys remember Backlash Puerto Rico, what hell of a match they had between Io Sky and Bianca Belair, and even recently too. You thought it was boring? Okay, this is okay, I will say. So I definitely can't wait to see Io Sky versus Bianca Belair again. That's for sure. We get a New Day interview, and basically Xavier Woods is saying that they should be fighting for the tag titles and should be number one contenders, but he basically blames Kofi Kingston and Chad Gable for costing them the opportunity. Now, it's interesting that he's blaming Kofi Kingston, because if you go back and you watch the match last week, it totally was Xavier Woods' fault that they lost. And he basically says that Kofi dropped the ball and cost him the match here. So I do think all these segments are leading to an Xavier Woods heel turn. He's definitely going to turn heel. And actually, I think that they might pull a barbershop with Kofi playing the role of Marty and Xavier Woods playing the role of HBK. Breakup is incoming. I definitely do think it's coming. I think they keep talking about New Day celebrating their 10-year anniversary. I definitely think that's when the breakup is going to happen, during their 10-year anniversary celebration. Why? Because celebrations, weddings, and contract signings never end well in wrestling. So I definitely see that happening during the 10-year anniversary celebration of the New Day. Barber Sharp. There you go. Botch. Yeah, I botched that. Now, this segment gets cut off because you have I don't know to my botch this. Yeah. This segment gets cut off because you have the Wyatt Six and the Miz. Now, the Wyatt Six kidnapped the Miz. He's like strapped to a chair with like duct tape on his mouth. And they play a clip of the Miz talking to Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. And he tries to say that he's not with the Final Testament. Uncle Howdy's just basically laughing at the Miz and saying that he never killed by the Final Testament. Which makes sense because, like I said, Uncle Howdy has a connection to the Miz. They were the B team. I don't want them to break up, but I would understand. Big E needs to get his brothers back. So uninterested in this feud. So, like I said, it seems like Wyatt Six is targeting everybody who betrays their partners or something. Because first they went after Chad Gable because he turned on Alpha Academy. Now they went after the Miz. Now the Miz, like I said, does have history with Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel, who is no longer in the WWE. So very curious to see how this pans out for the Miz. We'll get the New Day versus the War Raiders, and this was a decent match. I have to say the Warriors were victorious, but once again, you can blame Xavier Woods for costing the match. Like, Xavier Woods was the reason they lost this match. But of course, he's probably going to blame Kofi Kingston for this, because it's never Xavier Woods' fault, right? So, the tension is brewing between them, and we're going to have a split. Okay, we get a Seth Freakin Rollins interview, and he's talking about how he earned his spot in this Fatal 4-Way, about how him and Bronson Reed will probably, wrestle again in the future. But right now he's got gold on his mind, and he knows exactly who he is after the Crown Jewel. He's a revolutionary, and he's a visionary. He's Seth Freakin Rollins. So you get Dragon Lee with Zelina Vega versus Chad Gable with Ivy Nile. This was actually a really good match. This was probably my favorite match in the entire night. Like Chad Gable was pulling on Dragon Lee's mask. He pulled on Chad Gable's singlet, and like Chad Gable was like furious at Dragon Lee for doing that. So that looks like the Count, and that's the Count from Sesame Street. So this was really cool. This was a really good match. That cliffhanger DDT, that was really cool. You know, Ivy Naya put Zelina Vega in the Dragon Sleeper submission on the outside. And then when Rey Mysterio came out to try to like check on Zelina Vega, Chad Gable was pulling on his mask. This allowed Dragon Lee to take advantage. Dragon Lee basically won this match. This was a good match. I actually would not mind seeing another rematch down the road, but it seems like there might be setting a feud with American Made and the LWO. So we'll see where this goes. But the War Raiders are next in line for those tag titles. I think it's gonna be a while before American Made challenges for those tag titles. Best match of the night. Yeah, this was great. This is the best match, hands down. So we get a Gunther interview. And before Gunther could even say anything, like Kaiser goes off on Kathy Kelly for asking about Cody. Now when Gunther interjects, you could see like Kaiser's like kind of annoyed here. And Gunther starts praising and giving Cody Rhodes his flowers, but Kaiser just looked like, you know, he was done with it. And Gunther basically says it's up to him, it's up to them to do better. So I wonder if we're gonna get like a split with Kaiser and Gunther here, because he's trying to get annoyed. It seems like he's trying to get annoyed with Gunther because like he was trying to go off on Kathy Kelly for asking about Cody, and then Gunther just interjects. So I mean, they already got rid of Giovanni Vinci, so maybe Will Kaiser's next. We'll see, but it's definitely maybe. I think that they're gonna probably maybe do that typical old storyline where Gunther and Kaiser split, and then maybe Kaiser challenges for the world title. We'll see, but I think I like Kaiser as a heel. I cannot imagine him as a face. The main event ends up being the Fatal 4-Way #1 contenders match for the world title. It's Damian Priest versus Dominik Mysterio versus Sheamus versus Seth Freakin Rollins. If that happens, Kaiser and Vinci will be buried. I think Kaiser will be okay. Vinci, on the other hand, it's not good. I could see a Gunther babyface run and a Kaiser heel feud. Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see that too. Gunther turns face. It's so hard to picture Gunther as a face. He just has that thing about him. He's just such an asshole. He's like a really great heel. So I can't picture him as a face. Or Da Vinci. Okay, one time I called Giovanni Vinci Leonardo da Vinci. Let it go. One time. It just happened once. When I was like reviewing SmackDown. You gotta find that review. Alright, so Bronson Reed comes out during this match and he just starts plowing stuff. Like I can't let it go. It was funny. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's on my list of botched names that I botched. He sends Sheamus into the ring post. He sent Damian Priest into the steel steps. He did a Death Valley driver to Damian Priest and Sheamus, and then he gave them each a tsunami. Like, where the hell was Adam Pearce? And he was not out there handling this. And then he did a tsunami to Seth Rollins through the announce table. And this was just kind of chaotic. So obviously the feud between Bronson Reed and Seth frickin' Rollins is not over. And Damian Priest was victorious, and at the end, Gunther and Damian Priest have a stare down. So they did all this just to give Damian Priest his rematch? Should they just give him his rematch? Seth and Bronson will have another match. They should have another match. I still don't get why Bronson Reed didn't beat Seth Rollins. Like, he should have destroyed Seth Rollins and won. But hopefully in the rematch, that's what's the case. Like, Bronson Reed needs to win this feud. Seth Rollins will be okay. Alrighty. So that is it for the review. And on a scale from a 1 to a Sean Spears perfect 10, this Raw was just, I don't know, I guess they didn't try because this was a tape Raw. This just 7 out of 10, good show. Was better than SmackDown this past Friday, which was awful. Really, you gave this 7 out of 10? I'm really surprised. I really, like, my favorite match this entire night was Chad Gable versus Dragon Lee. Best match of the night, hands down. And I did like that Sami Zayn promo. The show felt rushed as well. It kind of did. So I'm gonna give this. Raw was it. Yeah, it really was. I'm gonna give this a 6 out of 10. It wasn't too bad, but it wasn't great. We've had better Raws, but we've had terrible Raws too. So it wasn't as bad. November is gonna be a slow month. Oh, it definitely is. I give Raw an 8 out of 5. Okay, 8 out of 5 it is. All right, but with that being said, you guys, thank you guys all so much for watching. And for continued support, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or release a new video. And again, for all things TNA, make sure you guys tune into Bodyslam every Thursday. I know we didn't do a review this past Thursday, because I did get a little sick. I had to go to urgent care, but aside from that, I feel fine. We should be able to do a review for TNA on Thursday. But with that being said, NXT Wednesday with hell no. I'm just going to watch one show, and that is going to be AEW Dynamite. I'm not going to be doing double the work. So, with that being said, I'll see you guys Wednesday after AEW Dynamite. Bye.